friends, welcome back! It's been a while and I'm really happy to welcome new subscribers. In this video I would like to introduce my biggest project so far, the Spanish Words Training System, based on flashcards and spelling trainings, with easy-to-use spaced repetition algorithm working under the hood thanks to forcing filters I told in one of my previous videos. The template contains 5000 most popular Spanish words and even more Notion pages with valuable information supporting them. Even if you are not learning Spanish, this video still may be interesting for you, because it reveals the novel approach to the spaced repetition in Notion, which doesn't require you to specify the next repetition date or do anything manually. The only thing you need is to drag and drop the note from one place to another. Are you excited? Let's get started. First of all, let me briefly explain the basic terms we will use. Active recall is a learning approach that requires actively stimulate memory by remembering the information, which helps to memorize it more efficiently. When learning something, it's much better to test yourself and actively try to give an answer to the question, rather than read the same stuff over and over again. Surprisingly enough, but extracting the information from human memory makes it stronger, in contrast with the computer's hard drive wearing off during the same process. Another principle worth mentioning is the spaced repetition. It's a technique usually performed with flashcards that consist of repeating the information with variable intervals that are changed based on a memory strength. For example, if you are able to give an answer without hesitation, you don't need to waste your time by repeating it. Contrary, if you struggle with some difficult concept, it is reasonable to revisit it more often to build more solid understanding and memory. Alright, let's jump from theory to the template implementation in Notion. The main page of the template provides links to all its components. Here is the words database, where you can go through words one by one or search for interesting word and activate them for future learning. Besides the basic information, every word page provides the mnemonic picture that will empower your memory by creating more associative links in your brain. The audio file and the quoted sentence give you the pronunciation and usage examples. Also, there is a set of links to the dictionaries with the word definition, so you will always be just one click away from the most relevant and trusted dictionaries, such as reverso.net, cambridge.org and wordreference.com. If you feel that 5000 most common words are not enough for you, of course, you can add your own easily. Now, let's take a look at the second database we have. Here are the word groups that organize words into meaningful chunks based on their topic, part of speech or difficulty level, so you can activate an entire set of your choice at once. Also, they provide statistical information about the correct answers, ratio and the learning progress. Let's activate one of these groups and go to the most interesting part, the set of training pages. It consists of 5 steps with increasing difficulty. The first page shows you all activated flashcards. Here you can see the image, the word itself and its translations. And of course, you can open it as a page to get more context. Then you have to decide whether this word feels simple or you need to repeat it more often. Then drag the note in the according zone and drop somewhere between these cards. Depends on your choice, the note will be shown again with a smaller or bigger interval. You can read more about the formula used to estimate the next repetition date on the About page provided in the video description. Alright, we've just finished with learning these cards. The next step is to try to input the word by looking at its image and translation. But it's a bit more interesting. You've probably noticed that the training page includes the hot and cold words in its name. And here is the main feature of this training. While you're typing your answer, it will help you by showing the fire icon when you give the correct answer and the snowflake when you drifted away. So your task is to turn this icon into a check mark for all given words. If you can't remember something, no worries. The interval between repetition will be decreased and you will have a chance to try yourself once again sooner. When all words are filled, just select them all carefully and drop to the validation zone. Here is a bit deeper insight to give you a better understanding of what just happened. I've opened the same word page in a separate window so we can see how it will be changed when I drop it to the validation section. As you can see, it's not so friendly on a smaller screen, but luckily you can try the free demo first to make sure that it fits your screen and you are comfortable with drag and drop mechanics. For now, I'll make these cards a bit smaller so they'll work just fine on a half-sized screen. Also, I would like to warn you about the word column in this table. Obviously, you don't want to look at it while typing, but it's impossible to hide. Luckily, we can just make other columns wider and push the word beyond the view. Going back to the exercise. Let's say I started to learn this word a few days ago, and the last interval between repetitions was 4 days. Now, if I give the correct answer, the next training date will be assigned to the 8th day from now. Otherwise, if the answer was wrong, the next exercise will be just in 2 days. Nice! Let's go to the following task. It looks quite similar and requires to input the word translation, but it also has a few extra features. You might notice that some words may have more than one translation. Let's add them to this table just for demonstration purpose. They can even have an additional information put into brackets. In these cases, you can input one of the suggested translations and ignore the extra context, thanks to the set of sophisticated Notion formulas with regular expressions working under the hood. That was cool. What's next? Here is the more difficult version of the second exercise. You won't get prompts anymore, just plain answer validation. Most likely, you will spend more time on this step and repeat the same words more often, which is perfect, since it puts you closer to the real-world conditions when you don't have hints around. And as usual, just drop the words to the validation zone when you are done. Last exercise, the translation exam. I'm sure you've already got the idea. Here you will be asked to type the translation for the given word without mnemonics, fire and snowflakes. And we've just come to the last step of the learning cycle, the final review. Here you can wrap up the words you've learned and briefly repeat them again if needed. At the bottom you will find the group statistic, which shows the correct answers rate and learning progress. Again, if you are interested in formulas that are used here, check out the free demo and read the About section. I hope this template will bring you some value and help you to learn faster and remember longer. If you wanna request a similar template for another language, leave your comment below. I read them all and I'm looking forward to your suggestions. And I have a special offer for those who watched up until this point. The first 30 people who use the promo code shown on the screen will get 30% discount on this template. So hurry up until they are available. Thank you for watching and your generous support. Stay safe, stay curious.